Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. Thank you for clicking on that video today. My name is Matthew Bonnick, and this is another episode of CDK releases. We're going to be talking about version 2.23.0 and version 1.55.0. All right, so let's get right into it today. Version 2.23.0 got released along with 1.155.0. They are mostly the same. We'll cover a little bit the differences. So starting off here, first change is update to the Cfn spec. Like I've talked about before, any sort of changes to this Cfn spec is really only going to result in some changes to your underlying L1s. Probably not a whole lot here that's going to interest too many people unless you're building on L1s. Next one is this CloudWatch. They added the custom widget. So CloudWatch allows you to define a widget that just hits a Lambda function, and the return value of that Lambda function gets displayed in CloudWatch. So now we've got this ability to go in here and add this custom widget into our CloudWatch dashboards. Really handy and very easy to use. We just create a new instance of the custom widget and then point it at the function ARN. The EC2 looks like we get an I for I instance type. Never really used the I instance types before, but if this is your bag, well, there you go. Now you got them. IAM gets an add convenience method for in organization to an ARN principal. So let's take a look into this. So it looks like we can create this account principal and add in this additional in organization option for when we're dealing with our principal declarations. And in this case, it looks like it's going to probably add that conditional check into the IAM principal. Yeah, so if we go down here, we can see, well, it should result in a statement that has this additional conditional right in here. Very handy, good quality of life improvement there. Next up is this function. We got this add alias. Looking at this here, so we're deprecating out the version.add_alias in favor of a function.add_alias. So if you're using your aliases there, you're probably going to have to make a change there when upgrading your code. Next up, we got a secret rotation being added to the database cluster from snapshot. So if you are using or creating a database cluster from an existing snapshot, now we're going to add in the additional rotation options there for the root credentials. It's a very nice feature of the RDS constructs to have that ability to automatically rotate those credentials over, and now you don't have to lose that if you're going to be restoring from a snapshot. Finally here, service catalog graduates to stable. We saw this in last week's release on the version 1 chain, and it looks like now it's made it into version 2 as well. So if you're using service catalog, the API is now stable, and you don't have to worry about a lot of backwards breaking changes or anything. Moving on to bug fixes here, we got Lambda. So grant invoke twice with different principals. Let's see if we can see what was going on here. Well, not a lot going on in here that we can really gather. Looks like this was just a small change here on the way that the invoke was working. Call twice for the same service principal but different conditions. And it looks like we'll get back a slightly modified IAM principal. So just cleaning those things up, probably an effort towards reducing overall package sizes and construct sizes. And finally on the fixes, the Ubergen. I don't know as though I've ever even heard of this before. So let's take a look and see. Due to an oversight, embedded exports from core were not exported in CDK v2. All right, so this is necessary for issue 19773 to work or commit. The PR moves the CFN parse under a folder within core lib where it is secretly exported. All right, so some real low-lying, undercover dirty work going on here. Finally, on the alpha modules, Redshift exposed the user.secret as a property, and then bug fixes more stuff around integ runner. If you're going to be using that integ runner, it is very early alpha. You're probably going to see a lot of changes like this, but hopefully that'll be a good thing in the long run. Big fan of the integ runner too, if you get a chance to play with it. Now, if we go ahead and we take a look at the V1, again, keep in mind that this is going to be deprecated and is already sort of end of life. So, you should be trying to move your code off of V1 into V2 as soon as possible. And really not a whole lot of change here between the two. It looks like V1, the only thing I see different here is Dashboard name on the L2, we saw that I think on the L1 construct. So, as these releases go out, it looks like they are differing a little bit on the features, but one will get a feature, the next release. So otherwise, these things are about the same. So that's it. Another real light release. If you've got any questions, hit us up on the cdk.dev Slack channel. Again, my name is Matthew Bonnick. Thank you for joining today. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It does really help me out, helps me understand if these are things that you're into, if these videos are helpful for you. And if you want to get notified in the future for when I create a new one of these, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Have a great day.